Saturday each afternoon at 3 p.m. Talk 96.3 and 103.7. Welcome in to News and Views with Tom Lamprecht. The stories you've heard and the ones you need to hear.
Let's take a test.
Come on, man.
Have you taken a cognitive?
No, I haven't taken a test.
Let him take the same test I took.
Why the hell would I take a test?
So here we are.
Questions about Joe Biden.
Judge my physical and mental fitness.
There must be a relief package.
So Uncle Sam can pay a higher salary to stay home.
Oh, this is just crazy.
It's that simple.
Your life, your values, your voice. This is News and Views with Tom Lamprecht on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
Yes, I am clearing my voice as we go on the air. I hope I don't start blubbering. Today is the last day of the official Tom and Sadie program. As this is now, I told her to lie to me at the beginning before we went on the air, and I said, lie to me and tell me you'll come on one more time before you move, and lie to me and tell me you'll come on once in a while after you move, because we have the technology, we can do that. Mm-hmm. And she said she would, and then I said, now don't tell me if you lied or not, because I don't want to know. Make me happy, lie to me and tell me you'll be around. But today is Sadie's last day, so we're going to do a little bit of a different take on today's program. We're going to go down some memory lanes.
Oh, no.
Just a little bit. I mean, some fun stuff, and hopefully we won't, some funny stuff. In fact, as we come to the close, I will play for you Sadie's best analogy of her 11 years on the air with us. There's some other good, some of the stuff. I used to do this more than I've done recently, but we used to do a lot of sort of parody musical clips with audio from the news, and I went back and listened to some of those today. And what was interesting about that, it really sort of paints a picture of some of the stories that we have covered over the last 11 years. And of course, a big segment of that 11 years was the 8 years when Obama was president. Mm-hmm. And it's really interesting how much lying they did. I mean, it's a lot of lying going on, and just a lot of hypocrisy as well. So we'll play some of that. But it's been 11 years. First year we were on at 6 o'clock in the morning. There's, by the way, I posted a picture on our Facebook page, Tom and Sadie Facebook page, of Sadie the first year we were on. You were cute then. You're cute now.
Oh, that hairstyle, yuck. What was I thinking with those bangs?
And it is true, Sadie did show up one time to the 6 a.m. program.
It was early. And
her flannel PJs.
Yeah, the benefits of the 6 a.m. show.
We've had a lot of laughs, a lot of good times, and it'll be missed. And over and over and over again, people say, I'll miss her laugh. So don't forget to record her laugh, Clark, and we'll play it back every now and then. Yeah, thank you. And News and Observer is reporting, along with a lot of the other media outlets, speaking of crying, Roy Cooper has, and this is why Sadie's actually moving to Virginia. I just found this out. Roy Cooper is keeping Phase 2 through, September 11th, I think is the date now. Yeah. So this is the third time Cooper has decided to keep restrictions that limit the size of gatherings, indoors, outdoors, retail stores, et cetera, et cetera. The state has been Phase 2 of COVID-19 since May the 22nd. The decision comes as kids get ready to go back to school. Average daily case growth has actually declined in the last week, but Cooper last week said the rate was still too high when he mandated a statewide ban on alcohol sales after 11 o'clock. Here's Cooper from earlier today.
What cut number?
The one, cut 2.
Okay.
As I said last week, stable is good, but decreasing is better. And while we are seeing stabilization of our numbers, that doesn't mean we can let up. We know this stability is fragile, and these trends can change quickly if we let down our guards. You only have to look at hospitals in other states that have been overwhelmed when reopening occurred too fast. In North Carolina, we've used the dimmer switch approach to easing restrictions. This ensured that we did not open too much, too quickly, which health experts say can lead to a devastating increase in cases, sickness, and death.
Too much, too quickly. No, you didn't do that. Don't have to worry about that.
No one will accuse you of that.
Cooper also said every single one of them represents a family in mourning, talking about the deaths. 2,000 COVID deaths since the state started this shutdown in March. 2,000 deaths related to COVID. We think, because there's all kinds of stories out there where people have been credited with dying by COVID, which we really don't know because they, also were in stage 4 lung cancer and then they died and it was COVID. But Cooper said every single one of them represent a family in mourning and a community grieving their loss. They are more than a number on a chart. They are North Carolinians who are missed dearly. You know what, Coop? Families have had their business go belly up and have ruined their financial picture for their families. They're going to have to file bankruptcy. They're going to have to go, perhaps be foreclosed on. That's more than a number on a chart, too. And consider this. And this goes back to 2017, the most recent numbers I could find. So we've had 2,000 people die of COVID between early March and early August. Half a year. In 2017, so half a year, so cut these numbers in half if you don't like them. In 2017, cancer, 19,474 people died in North Carolina. Heart disease, 18,808 died in North Carolina. Accidents, 5,985. Chronic lower respiratory disease, 5,540. Stroke, 5,098. Alzheimer's, 4,289. Diabetes, 2,903. Flu, pneumonia, 2,076. Kidney disease, 2,040. Suicide, 1,521. Death by firearms, 1,430. Homicide, 679. Drug overdose, 2,214. All of those are, those aren't just numbers, Governor. Those are stories. Those are people we've dearly lost. People die. Well, I'm sorry to sound callous, but people die of all kinds of things.
Has he ever been asked by the media about those who suffer from depression, those who are calling the suicide hotline? Those numbers have gone up exponentially, and he never addresses those. My mom's 91, and she's a very cheerful person, but she is starting to get depressed over being locked in her house all the time. I mean, she has to self-isolate because she's older, but she is getting really down, and I think she speaks for a lot of people who are not able to see their families. A lot of the younger people, too, will not allow their older parents to see their friends, to go to church, even if church is outside and they're wearing a mask. I mean, maybe this will help somebody. I just went to Dallas a few weeks ago. You know that. I was on 6 different planes to get there and back. Wore a mask. With Dallas-Fort Worth Airport's huge, tons of people there. I'm fine. You can go out and live. You can go places. You can do things. Wear a mask and wash your hands and you'll be fine. But this fear that Cooper is speaking about, that isn't a reality. Yes, deaths are a reality. I'm not saying that, and people are getting sick with it, but you can prevent it just taking a few measures. There's no reason why we all have to be prisoners in our own home and state.
Well, those 2,000 deaths, how many were of elderly and how many had serious pre-existing conditions? I'm sure the number is well north of 80%, probably well north of 90%. And yet we're locking down the entire society. We're causing all kinds of damage to business, to education. It's mind-boggling, but yet, and again, I will say it again, come November 3rd, everything's going to be fine. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. By the way, suicide in 2017, again, was 1,521. It will be really, really interesting to compare that number with 2020 after this is over. My hunch is it will be twice as high, at least. So, as I said, we're going to go sort of down memory lane. This is not really dated, but this is a clip that we used to play every now and then. I just always thought this was the funniest clip. Somebody who has since gone to be with the Lord sent this to me years ago. This is cut to Can Democrats think? I don't think so.
This is Mr. Montgomery. I met him a few weeks ago in New York.
Oh, how are you? You live here?
Yes.
Maybe you know what a zombie is.
Yes, that's more voodooism, and not very pleasant. When a person dies and is buried, it seems there's certain voodoo priests who have the power to bring him back to life.
Horrible.
It's worse than horrible because a zombie has no will of his own. You see them sometimes, walking around blindly with dead eyes, following orders, not knowing what they do, not caring.
You mean like Democrats?
Right back.
GoEco is the office equipment company that people all over eastern North Carolina are turning to for their office copier and equipment needs. GoEco sells and services Canon copiers and office products. They have a great service team that's quick to respond when you need them. We here at Interbanks Media just made the switch to GoEco, and they're saving us money in printing costs. Other businesses in and around Greenville are making the switch too. Dirk's Chiropractic switched over a year ago and saved money. GoEco bought out their existing lease, and Dirk's Chiropractic received better products fitting their needs. In fact, GoEco has saved local clients who have switched over $178,000. Oh, and some businesses might qualify for no payments until 2021. Call Area Sales Director Tom Watkins at GoEco for a free consultation today. 252-227-0581 or email info@goeconc.com. Save money by switching to GoEco. In the studio with Jason Pear of Pear Electronics. Jason, Pear Electronics is a name we all know and love, but why should people call Pear Electronics?
Well, number one, Henry, is that we're local. We offer some of the best technicians in the business and the best brands. And also, we're part of ProSource, which is the nation's largest buying group, which offers financing and the best prices. So we're as competitive as being online or the big box stores.
And let's talk about security products. You still have alarm.com.
We do. You know, Pear Electronics being in the security business, we have a lot of things to offer. We have no contract, low monthly payments, video doorbells, cameras, be able to put everything on one app, and it's simple to use, and that's the key word.
All right, it's Pear Electronics, your one-stop shop for wireless, video, security. They're your go-to group for all your entertainment needs. How do people contact you?
They contact us at 252-439-5295 or visit us at PearElectronics.com.
That's Jason Pear with Pear Electronics.
Globe Pharmacy is your local independent pharmacy in Uptown Greenville. Pharmacist Paige Hamilton opened Globe Pharmacy on the corner of 4th and Evans Street last year. Why choose Globe Pharmacy? Globe Pharmacy offers free delivery up to 10 miles and a personalized review of all your prescriptions and recommendations for generic alternatives to expensive meds. Businesses can set up a prescription delivery program and vaccine clinics for their employees with Globe Pharmacy. Visit globegreenville.com and find Globe Pharmacy on Facebook.
For a memorable dining experience, look no further than Georgia Dean's Restaurant and Bar in Williamston. Offering a Southern eclectic menu, Georgia Dean's features unique appetizers, gourmet sandwiches, steaks, pasta, and fresh seafood. Georgia Dean's also has ABC permits and outside patio seating. Open Tuesday through Saturday at 11 on Highway 17 South in Williamston, or call 789-1188. Whether you're local or on your way to the Outer Banks, stop by Georgia Dean's Restaurant and Bar in Williamston.
That was Sadie's favorite group, the Eagles, and that was one of the parodies we did. That's all she knew how to do was lie.
Yeah.
Sandy Merchant writes on our Facebook page. By the way, all kinds of comments to you on our Facebook page today.
Sweet, everyone. If I knew
except
y'all
for
liked
this
me
one,
this
except
much.
for this one. Sandy Merchant writes, "Who's going to correct Tom when he butchers pronouncing words and names?" Thanks, Sandy.
I've been biting my tongue a lot. I've been trying to not embarrass Tom.
Look, if I could be embarrassed over butchering words and names, I would have quit the first week.
I know, but I had to do it so much at the beginning. It got annoying.
Well, yeah, a little bit.
I know. Sorry. Do you want the weather?
Yes. Speaking of butchering things, why don't you do the weather?
Exactly. I know. My husband said, you should probably just record the weather every day and send it to Tom, and then you get something to talk about. Anyway, for our Thursday, we have a 50% chance of rain and partly sunny skies with a high of 88, so it's nice to see the 80s instead of 90s. A 60% chance of rain for Friday, partly sunny with a high of 89, and a 40% chance of rain for Saturday, otherwise mostly sunny skies with a high of 90.
Weather brought to you by our friends at Ironwood. Celebrate your big event this year at Ironwood Golf and Country Club. Over $300,000 in upgrades and improvements on our beautiful clubhouse. It's the perfect setting to host your wedding, birthday, anniversary, baby reveal party, graduation celebration, business meeting, holiday parties. Ironwood offers several party spaces leading out to terraces with beautiful views of the Lee Trevino Signature Golf Course. Make your celebration one to remember at one of the most beautiful venues in eastern North Carolina. Contact Taylor Hetzel, Banquet Manager at Ironwood Golf and Country Club. Taylor's number is 752-4653, or email Taylor at foodandbeverage@ironwoodgolf.com. So, in the early days of News and Views with Tom and Sadie, we had a regular on with us, and it was Sadie's dad, and came up with the name Rayo from Chicago. And everybody loved when we had Rayo on.
Everybody loves Raymond.
Really. I mean, at first it was sort of, who is this guy? But then after a while, it's just like, when are you going to have him on again? When are you going to have him on again? How many years ago did he pass away?
5.
It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe we've been on for 11 years. I mean, it has gone like that. It's hard to believe Rayo's been gone for 5 years. But, you know, you can't have Sadie. Well, you wouldn't have Sadie if it wasn't for Rayo. And you wonder where she got her sense of humor. Well, it was from Rayo. Here's a little tribute to Rayo.
I'm not hot.
You are hot right now, yes.
How are you, Tom?
I'm doing well, Ray. It's always good to talk to you. It's been a while.
All right, well, let's get one thing taken care of first.
Okay, all right.
My prediction on the Super Bowl.
On the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
A little late.
No, my prediction was Patriots 28, Seahawks 17.
That was because I talked to him before it.
And what was the final score? I don't remember. I know this. I know the Patriots won.
28 to 24.
Wow.
Some things are better left unsaid.
Okay.
For you, even? That's hard to believe.
Yeah.
My wife and I are going on 60 years of married.
Married what?
Combat.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Reserve them.
Listen, a couple of Saturdays ago, we had a big event down here, the Greenville Home Fest show.
Oh, yeah.
And Sadie and I were out there glad-handing folks and meeting many of our fine listeners, and it was a lot of fun. But your ears must have been burning that day. You would not have believed how many people came up to us and said, I love Rayo. When are you going to have Rayo on again?
My fans, I want a new contract.
We'll double your salary. Let's switch gears to Hillary. She's in the news. She's got all kinds of bad news. She's wanting to run for president. She's got the email scandal. She's got the foundation scandal, taking money from other governments while she was Secretary of State. Didn't file the paperwork when she entered office and left office. So is any of this going to make any difference to her presidential aspirations?
Probably not, because of the great, stupid, low information voter.
So, Ray, you agree with me. This is great.
I sort of do, yes.
Oh, so you sort of do.
He's keeping his options
I think she has too many skeletons rattling around in her closet in Chappaqua, New York, right next to her server. At this point in time, what difference does it make, Granny?
Wait, do you think she's regretting saying those words?
It'll come back to bite her.
I think it already has. Yeah.
She never wears a dress. Why not?
I knew it was going to come back to that.
You and I think exactly alike. I was saying the other day, what is always with wearing these pup tins?
The
pantsuits. Well, I hope she wears panties.
Oh.
Don't edit that out. Leave it in there.
All right. Let's go to something more benign. Who do you like on the Republican side?
Who do I don't want? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Jebby, baby. I don't want him. I'm sick and tired of the Bushes, sick and tired of the Clintons. We need some new faces. How about that nice young man, Rachel Maddow?
Somebody at the Home Fest said they like you because you are cut and dry.
Cut and dry. You know from whence I come.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Good.
No sugarcoating.
No sugarcoating. No picking fly poop out of pepper.
That's right. Your favorite saying.
Yeah, I love that saying. Barack Sotero.
Where'd you get the name Sotero? That came from somewhere.
From Kenya.
But was it his dad's first name then?
No.
He'd have to be called...
I think his father's name was Magumbo.
Oh.
I don't know, I'm guessing. But then let's not lose...
Okay, never mind.
Let's not lose sight of the question. And the question
what was the question?
Many... while Nancy Pelosi is floating around with her Botox and her breast implantation...
But you think she's hot, remember?
She is hot.
Now, how do you know she has breast implants?
I read it on the internet.
Oh well, then we can't argue with that.
True.
When she goes in, the Botox stock goes up 20%.
Ray, just tell us something we don't know that's going to pop up in the news.
There will be an attempt by the conservative Republicans in the House to once again unseat John Boehner.
Really?
I think so.
Can they ask for a redo, a do-over?
Yes, do-over.
All right.
All right, I think I'm just about out. I have to take care of your mother today. She's not well. Not your mother, Tom. Sadie's mother.
Okay.
All right, Ray. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Okay,
You always
Tom,
do a great job.
Great talking with you
Our
again.
fans love you. Great talking to you.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay, bye,
Good
Dad.
luck to all.
All right. Bye-bye, Ray.
Bye-bye.
He was a hoot.
Oh, my gosh.
I laugh more at that. I mean, politically incorrect, yes.
He said some things on the air once. He used a derogatory term for lesbians. And Tom and I are so wet behind the ears, we had no idea that this term was even out there. And when he used it, we're like, what's that? And then we found out what it meant.
And we should have bleeped it.
Shocking, yes. He almost got us in trouble so many times.
I'll tell you what, he was funny.
He needed his own show. And what's funny is he never knew this, but his dad was a radio personality in California. And he didn't find out. My brother found it out after Dad passed away.
He was a good man, sweet man, funny man.
Mm-hmm.
5618255. Let's go to Bobby. Hey, Bobby.
Hey, Tom and Sadie.
Yes, sir.
I have called in your station several times, and I would like to read a poem that I wrote for Sadie as she's leaving. Could I do that?
Was it clean?
Believe me, we all believe in the same God and the same Jesus Christ, and I'm very much a Christian as you are, and nothing I would ever do would ever have anything bad in it, okay?
Well, that's great. Let's hear
Read
it.
And it's for a great lady. The name of the poem is simply called 11.
Okay.
You ready? 11 is special. It's two ones together. If properly drawn, they'll go on forever. Just like the feelings that we have for you, good luck on your journey as you start anew. Remember your friends here in Radio Land. We'll all miss that laughter when you make a stand. Yes, you are one tough lady who says what she means, tells Tom to be quiet when he's full of beans. So God will be with you as onward you go. You'll always be with us on Life's radio.
Oh, my goodness. I love it.
That's sweet, Bobby. Thank you, sir.
It is. You got me crying, though.
Hey, we're going to miss you.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you, Bobby.
Appreciate it. God bless you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So a couple of years ago, how many years ago was the Stormy thing? It was after Trump was in office. The Stormy Daniels thing came, and I mean, you look back and you know, as soon as one of these let's beat up Donald Trump stories come in, you know, it has its news cycle, and then they come up with another one that they think is even more damaging, and they drop the previous one. And of course, you know, this whole Stormy Daniels thing disappeared when, you know, her lawyer ended up, you know, he's the one that's going to spend the time in the jail. But we were talking about the Stormy Daniels story, and this is cut 7. And Sadie had some interesting conclusions to the story. Stormy Daniels, was arrested at a Columbus, Ohio strip club. Daniels, during a performance, forced faces of club customers into her breast and used her exposed breast to smack their faces. So shouldn't she have been charged with assault and boobery?
I hope to never really experience anything like that, unless someone slips me a Mickey and I'm the one on stage. It won't be the double D like Stormy has. I wouldn't be able to slap a mosquito. They're all discombobulated. How dare you play that clip?
Oh, listen, I've got a better one.
Highly edited.
I've got a better one coming up in a little bit. 5618255. Let's go to Joseph down in Jacksonville. Hey, Joseph.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. Good to hear from you.
I didn't call in to talk about Nasty Pelosi or anything like that. But I did call in. I've actually listened to it, and I invite the listeners to actually listen to this. It's on the internet, and it's from a great guy. I actually loved listening to him when I was growing up. But Paul Harvey,
right?
Yeah.
And it's a piece he did back in 1969, and it's called "If I Were the Devil."
Right. Yeah, I've heard it. It's very, very well done.
And it was very well done, and it's kind of crazy how what he said then is taking place really well now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it correlates with everything that's kind of, that he saw coming already. And it kind of, you can see it almost, in his writing and I guess what he saw in the media himself. But
I'll tell you what, if you've got a transcript of that, go post it on our Facebook page so our folks can see it. That'd be great. Yeah.
Okay.
It's very well written.
I would definitely do that because I think it's one of those things that people are like, geez, this was written that long ago, and how it relates to what we're going through now in the government and schools and what have you. It is very interesting.
You may have to send it to us in our inbox, because then we can post it. The way our settings are, you might not be able to post it.
Yeah. Put it on Messenger,
we'll put it on.
and then we'll pop it on there.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, my. It's good to laugh. Otherwise, I'd cry.
My dad, he makes my stomach hurt because I laugh so hard.
Interesting story out of the Daily Wire. Goes against everything that you have read or you have heard on the mainstream media. But, I mean, I hadn't had any polls on this, but we have said over and over again, don't believe the narrative. Don't believe the Black Lives Matter narrative that every black wants to get rid of the police. According to a new poll, a majority of black Americans prefer police spending the same amount of time or more watching over the communities, despite claims from a growing movement that police are a threat to minority communities. Gallup released a poll on Wednesday, today, found that 81% of black people want police spending the same amount of time or more time in their communities. That number compares to 88% for white Americans, 83% for Hispanic Americans, 72% for Asian Americans. So basically, they're right there in the midst of the rest of the demographics. The Gallup survey involved 36,463 adults taken between June 23rd, July 6th, and that was right at the height of the protests, the riots, and 81% of black people said, no, I want the police either here or here more. The survey also noted that black Americans, more than any other racial group, are more likely to see police in their communities. 73% of the black respondents said they see police in their communities sometimes or very often, which is 8 points higher than the national average. The slightly elevated frequency with which black Americans see police in the neighborhoods has limited impact on their preferences for changing the local police presence, Gallup notes. About a third of the black Americans who say they often see the police in their neighborhood think the police should spend less time there, 34%. However, the majority of adults in this group think they should spend the same amount of time, 56%, or more time, 10%. So 66% of those surveyed said the same or more. That's where they want the police in their neighborhood. The majority of the other black Americans, including those who are not too confident about receiving considerate police treatment, want the police to spend the same amount of time, with additional percentages favoring more time. So this poll goes against, smack dab against the narrative.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's their neighborhoods that get impacted by crime so much. So why wouldn't you want the cops? I mean, I still see defund the police narratives all over social media, and I just don't get it. It's like, do you even understand what you are saying? Why do you think this is such a cool thing to say? You're not the one whose neighborhood is impacted. Why don't you go and ask the people whose neighborhoods need the police presence more than yours and check your white privilege at the door? I will say, I think liberals have this white privilege that they feel that they can say any stupid thing and get away with it.
Well, think about this. Who are the people that have a lot of time to spend on social media?
Yeah.
College kids, millennials.
That's their activism.
And that's where they get their information from, and they just repeat and parrot what they hear. They're not out there. And by the way, down in Tampa, over the weekend, some folks, and citizens did this on their own. They went out and painted a really good-looking blue mural. Said "Back the Blue," and they did it right in big letters out in the street in front of the police station. And yet, they went out and vandals went out and tarred it, painted over it, did some F-bombs over top of the police station and over top of the "Back the Blue." It isn't interesting that the one African-American, one black woman up in New York who put paint on Black Lives Matter over top the Black Lives Matter painting in front of the Trump Tower, she was immediately arrested. The people that did this, they haven't found them yet. I mean, I would think,
curious.
Yeah, but I would think the police would certainly be on the side of the people that wrote in big letters, painted in huge letters, "Back the Blue."
We need a new policy nationwide that says any grown adult who knows how to behave themselves can use their belt they have around their waist and whoop these kids' butts when they see them doing stuff. And you won't be in trouble. Because that's what these kids need. These stupid vandals who have nothing else going on for them in life. Losers. I mean, they're just out there wreaking havoc on society because they need a cause. They need to feel important. They need to feel valued. And I think it's sad. It's a sad commentary. I don't know if your parents didn't show you enough love or what. I mean, it's just sad. But really, if you can't find your identity within yourself or God, then I guess you're going to find your identity in being a vandal.
All right, we've got to take a time out. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
My mom was diagnosed with Parkinson's 7 years ago. Her dementia is worsening, and after Dad passed, I moved her in with my husband and I. Mom's fought this beast for so long, and I can tell she's tired. Mom deserves better. Mom deserves home. Mom deserves the team at Pruitt Health Hospice. You see, I thought hospice was only for people in their dying days, but I was wrong. Pruitt Health Hospice brought Mom back to her life. The partners at Pruitt Health Hospice work to treat the whole person, not just the signs and symptoms of an illness. That means they support their patients, yes, physically, but also emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. Pruitt Health Hospice provides nurses, social workers, chaplains, CNAs, volunteers, and physicians, all from the comfort of our home. They worked together to provide forms of patient care that ultimately shared a common goal: to relieve my mother's suffering and improve her quality of life, however long that may be. Thank you, Pruitt Health Hospice, for all you do and for being committed to caring.
Fabric and Home Furnishings in Arlington Village is Greenville's complete home design center. They have an amazing design team and offer so much more than just fabric. At Fabric and Home Furnishings, they have the area's largest selection of Krypton fabric in stock. You can spill red wine on a white sofa with Krypton fabric and watch it roll right off. The Fabric and Home Furnishings design team will design a sofa for you, help you reupholster your existing sofa, or come to your home and help you with your entire project. Lisa and Dale Pendry at Fabric and Home Furnishings work hard to keep their inventory made in America. They support local craftsmen, employ ECU design students, and they can help turn your Eastern North Carolina home into a showplace. Find them on Facebook at Fabric and Home Furnishings and go see them at the store in Arlington Village. It's time to make your home a masterpiece with the help of Fabric and Home Furnishings. So much more than just a fabric store. On the north shore of the Pungo River, just 8 miles from the massive Pamlico Sound, lies the beautiful town of Belhaven. This picturesque community has attractive historic buildings, shops, restaurants, and incredible open water views. Come to Belhaven and find out why the boats stop here.
O'Neill's Drugs offers the fastest and friendliest service in Belhaven. Located on the corner of Main Street near 264 Bypass, their family's been taking care of families like yours since 1932. Visit them at o'neillsdrug.com.
That's So Marty on Water Street is your location for monograms. Enjoy custom digitizing with quick service without the long drive to Washington or Greenville. Marty also teaches classes in quilting, sewing, smocking, making one-of-a-kind tuppets, and your first monogram is free. That's So Marty.
Andrew Fisher with Coldwell Banker Coastal Rivers Realty has been providing professional real estate services for over 50 years. Involved in his community, Andy can help with buying or selling residential property, land, and investment properties. Give Andy Fisher a call at 945-7028.
Back to the show that really makes you think.
He is a genius.
He's all powerful.
He brought a kind of heat.
He could be the best. Just don't hurt yourself, okay? More news and views on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
Welcome back in. We're doing some strolling down memory lane today over the 11 years that Sadie and Tom have been together. See, I gave you top billing there. Did you notice that?
Yeah, thank
Sadie
you.
and Tom.
About time.
11 years later, last day of the show, she finally gets top billing. Dr. Zachary is on the line. Hey, Doc.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Doing well. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, so you guys have supported me over the years, and you've read my awful books. And so on the last day, from a 25-year Navy veteran, I wanted to wish Miss Sadie fair winds and following seas.
Well, thank you very much.
Dr. Kitchen, Dr. Zachary.
May the good Lord keep her and keep her safe. And if she ever needs anything, don't hesitate to call.
Aw,
Well, thank you very much.
We have
Appreciate
the
it.
sweetest listeners.
Thank you, Doc. Joe Wilbur down in New Bern. Hey, Joe.
Hey, this is Wilbur. How you doing, buddy?
The younger ones
Been
won't get
listening
that.
to you for a while. I didn't know this was your last day. I guess I'll go back to listening to Seriously Sinatra on XM radio.
Oh, we'll give Tom a
So
chance.
you're gonna abandon me, huh?
Yeah.
There you go.
Poor Tom.
There you go.
I always thought it should have been Sadie and Tom the whole time you were on there.
Oh, Tom might cry now.
Yeah.
He was fine till then.
Well, thanks, Joe.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Thanks,
Have a great
Wilbur.
day. It's a great day for it. That's what everybody calls me, Wilbur.
All right, Wilbur. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So,
Funny.
Sadie has had some good analogies over the years and over the last 11 years. But by far, her best analogy was we were talking about, it was a story about how Obama was complaining about the economy. But yet he was acting like he had nothing to do with it. Now, I think this was back in, I'm pretty sure this is 2014. So this is like towards the end of his presidency. And he's complaining about the economy. And of course, he's trying to, he's probably blaming it on George Bush as he blamed everything. But so we're talking about that. And Sadie comes up with an analogy that is probably the best one we've ever had.
Rolling out his jobs bill, which ended up being nothing. I mean, he basically doesn't succeed at doing anything, but he talks a good game. It sounds really good. But to have this attitude of, yeah, the economy really stinks. What are you going to do about it? And he takes no ownership over it stinking. He's like the guy who farts in a crowd and walks away and turns around and goes, man, it stinks in here. Somebody did something. I mean, that's what he's like.
I cannot believe you just used that analogy.
That is the best analogy I've ever heard on this show.
That actually is. That was Pat Jones, who was our producer back then.
I wondered who that voice belonged to.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of producers. Clark, I think you're number 12 in 11 years. Maybe
that's probably about right.
Maybe
yeah.
13.
Yeah. Pat was good one. Clark's a great one. Yeah, we've got some good ones.
We really have.
For sure. Ted Cruz lashed out at Oprah Winfrey for saying white privilege is an advantage, accusing the black media mogul of spewing utter racist BS. Billionaire Oprah Winfrey lectures the rest of us. You still have your whiteness. That's what the term white privilege is. It means that whiteness still gives you an advantage no matter, the senator wrote on Twitter. What utter racist BS he added. This is just a brief clip. This is cut one of what Oprah Winfrey said.
I was going to say, and then I'll let you answer it. White people, there are white people who are not as powerful as the system of white people, the caste system that's been put in place, but they still, no matter where they are on the rung or the ladder of success, they still have their whiteness.
So, therefore, they have an unfair advantage. Now, this is coming from a billionaire. A billionaire. And it's coming after a black American won the White House twice.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the little program she has, which just started on Apple TV, she said, there are white people who are not as powerful as the system of white people. The caste system has been put in place. You want to see a caste system? Go over to India.
Yeah.
There is an utter caste system that you will never get out of.
Mm-hmm. Well, and there have been a lot of white talk show hosts through time. None of them are billionaires, Oprah. You got to where you are partly because you are black and you had an interesting point of view and people were interested. How is any of this racist except for what you're saying?
And in fact, I mean, the interesting thing is the reason why she was so successful, frankly, is because she never went into the race car business. I mean, she primarily, and I was never, I just didn't, I mean, I didn't follow that kind of television. I just didn't, it wasn't my interest level.
Women were more interested.
But she didn't play the race card. I mean, the subject she covered, for the most part, had an interest across the board.
Exactly. Except for her staff has always been all black. Always.
The program called on white parents to help teach their children how to be anti-racist. How about all humans encouraging their children to love all people, black, white, red, yellow, all people?
Yeah, I don't get the mentality that says if you're black, you cannot be a racist.
Well,
because it's because of the critical race theory. They believe there's an oppressor and an oppressed, and because whites are the oppressors, the oppressed can't be racist. It's actually flipped around now. I think we see as many racist blacks as we do whites. I mean,
but they don't
racism is not strictly related to one race or another.
But the progressive will not accept that.
No.
They'll say, no. There's no way you can be a black and be a racist.
Right.
We've got to take another time out. Stay with us. More to come. We'll be right back.
Divorce is never easy, but there's a right way and a wrong way. At A&R Law, the law firm of Ashley Nicole Russell, healthy divorce is what they emphasize. For the greater good of everyone, there's a way for a divorce with integrity for both sides. That's why Ashley Nicole Russell wants you to know you have options. At A&R Law, their focus is to help you and protect your children. Traditional litigation settlements are very costly and no one really wins. Ashley Nicole Russell initiated the concept of collaborative divorce in Eastern Carolina, and it's helped countless families. Ashley Nicole literally wrote the book on this concept, The Cure for Divorce Culture, and she speaks all over the country to help promote the idea of healthy divorce. If you're currently experiencing conflict, please call the offices in Greenville, Beaufort, or Raleigh and let them walk you through the steps that can lead to a positive, life-changing experience for you and your children. Learn more at anrlaw.com. Attorney Ashley Nicole Russell can show you a better way to divorce.
Greatest of all time. Krispy Kreme has brought back 3 of the all-time greatest fan favorite Reese's Donuts. That's right, Reese's Donuts are back at Krispy Kreme. There's the Reese's Classic Donut, filled with Reese's Peanut Butter Cream, dipped in Hershey's chocolate icing, topped with mini peanut butter chips, and a drizzle of Reese's chocolate and peanut butter. Then there's the Reese's Original Filled Chocolate Lovers Donut, filled with Reese's Peanut Butter Cream and dipped in delicious Hershey's chocolate icing. And finally, the Reese's Outrageous Donut that's dipped in Hershey's chocolate icing, topped with mini Reese's Pieces, and a drizzle of salted caramel and Reese's peanut butter. And Krispy Kreme is asking you you to help choose which of these 3 is truly the greatest. And that donut will stay as a permanent menu item. Try all 3 Reese's Donuts at Krispy Kreme today. Krispy Kreme, Greenville, Goldsboro, and Rocky Mount.
You wouldn't go a day without washing your hands or brushing your teeth. But what about your nose, the body's air filter? It traps allergens that can make you miserable and germs that can make you sick. With all the dangerous stuff in the air, it's time to make good nasal hygiene your new normal with Navage. Navage flushes out allergens, mucus, and germs, and it's clinically proven to relieve congestion naturally without drugs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage, the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage is the easy-to-use alternative to neti pots, pills, and sprays. Here's my promise to you. Try Navage. If it doesn't relieve congestion and help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier, just return it for a full, no-questions-asked refund. Over 1 million sold. Online at Navage.com or at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Make good nasal hygiene your new normal with Navage. Navage.
The hottest topics of summer.
Everyone just relax, lock your doors, don't make eye contact with anyone, and listen to the radio.
Every day. Hear about it here with News and Views on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
Well, I noticed on Facebook, they're now taking bets with our Facebook viewers. Will I start blubbering before the end of the program?
I don't see it coming.
Well, we'll see.
Dry eyes.
We still have, well... I had a pit in my stomach all day today.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is a hard position to leave. Being on radio is, I'm just telling y'all, it's the best career I've ever had and the lowest paying one at the same time.
But you get to work with great people. Hey, come on.
You do? I mean, how many of you get to talk to presidential candidates? I'm just saying.
I was talking about me. Listen, there is a reason why Sadie is the sweet person that she is. And I'm going to allow her to share with you in song why she is the person she is. This is cut 9.
Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him belong. They are weak, but he is strong. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. The Bible tells me so. What in the world? When did you do that?
I have no idea.
I remember singing that like a long time ago, and you just... I didn't know you captured that, though.
I don't know.
Remind me to kill you later.
You know what, though? In all honesty, folks, that's why Sadie is the sweet person that she is.
Oh, it is. I mean, if I am sweet, that's the only reason why. You know, my nickname growing up was Viper Tongue.
I know.
And Rayo gave me that.
And I understand why.
Tom was telling me earlier. I said, I never get offended when Tom says it. He goes, yeah, I'm probably nicer to you than you are to me. Oh,
but
it's true. He's nice to me.
It is all good things must come to an end, and it's not like we're never going to hear from Sadie again. But it has been a sweet 11 years, and we have become the best of friends. And I wish you the very, very best with you and Herman heading up to Virginia, and I know we'll see each other again. But I think you wrote on Facebook today, you know, when you get into a routine and you see somebody every day, and now I'm going to start blubbering. It's hard to say goodbye.
Yeah, it really is. It is an era. It's the end, and hard to leave Eastern North Carolina and you, and just sitting here at the desk. We have so much fun, y'all. I mean, you have no idea.
And the truth of the matter is, there's probably more funny stuff. I mean that in the best sense of the word. There's more funny stuff in terms of laughter and joking and just belly laughs. While there were a lot of them on the air, there were a lot of them off the air as well. And, you know, many times our listeners have said, could you keep your mics on during the breaks?
And we did sometimes accidentally.
I don't think we ever got in trouble.
Almost. I deleted those, Tom. The videos where we would have gotten in trouble.
I don't think we ever said anything bad about Henry Hinton while we were on there, do we?
We love Henry. He's made this possible
Yeah,
for
he
us.
has. So anyway, thanks for the memories. She'll
Thank
be
you
back.
all.
She'll be
Yes,
back.
I
and,
actually will.
And
Probably.
I hope she
At
didn't
some
lie
point.
to. I hope she didn't lie to me when she said she'd be back before they actually physically get in the moving van and head north. But we will see, and we will keep our hopes up, and we will keep praying for Herman and Sadie as they start a new venture.
Thank
and look,
you.
all you got to do is go up there and get a radio station up there, and we'll be syndicated in Roanoke and in Eastern North Carolina.
I know. People
do
need
it.
to call WFIR up there.
All right, you hear that? That's your assignment. If you're listening, call WFIR in Roanoke, Virginia, and tell them to pick up Tom and Sadie. Thanks for joining us. I'll do it again tomorrow at 5 o'clock. We'll see you then. Bye-bye, everybody.
When it comes to finding the best deals, I start with a brand I trust. At